Do you like tri-tip? Do you like French dip? Do you like barbecue beef sandwiches? Today I'm going to put all those three things together and we're going to make a tri-tip dip barbecue beef sandwich. It's been a while since I've done a tri-tip, and well, today here I've got one, a nice 3-pounder, all trimmed up. Now I went ahead and did some of the extra trimming. The butcher usually does most of it, but I just picked a few extra little pieces off, and you'll see this is not 100% stripped of any surface fat or a little bit of membrane. I'm not a competition cook. I'm not that great at getting all those little bits off of there, and honestly, it's gonna taste great. I've done hundreds of these, and if there's a little fat, little tiny bits of membrane, don't worry about it. So the rub I'm going to be using today on this for our first bit of seasoning is the Mad Cow rub from Postal Barbecue. It's really good stuff. It's going to give this a great flavor when we smoke it up. You don't really need any binder here. There's still a good amount of surface moisture. If you've watched my videos long enough, you know that tri-tip is one of my favorite things to cook up. And I'll be using my 110 sear method today. I use that almost all the time when I make tri-tip. I'll talk a little bit more about that out at the kettle because we're going to be using the SnS Grill's kettle today. You could do this on any kettle or any grill. You just need temperature and time and an appetite. Make sure I got everybody covered here. All right, that looks good to me. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator to just sort of rest and absorb some of these flavors for about a half an hour, 45 minutes, while we go get the SnS Grill's kettle fired up. All right, the SnS Grill's kettle is coming up to temp. My target temp today is 275 degrees. Let's go ahead and get this tri-tip on. First thing, I want to add a couple pieces of post oak. Now I have the slow and sear in today, but no water in the reservoir. It's a fairly humid day today, so I don't really think I need that extra moisture in there. Plus, this is going to be a relatively short cook with the slow and sear. That's why it's only about half full. Let me get my temperature probe in. All right, let's go ahead and get our lid on and get smoking. Now the temperature I'm taking my tri-tip to today ultimately is 130, but at 110 degrees, I'm gonna sear it. That's my 110 sear method. Then I'll return it indirect until we get to that 130. And I'll adjust my vents on the SnS Grill's kettle to keep it in that 275 range today. I'll probably just end up using the smoke hole with the bottom vent fully closed. Now, recently I've gotten several questions about the type of remote thermometer I use, so I'm just going to show you a little bit about why I really like the Smoke X4 from ThermoWorks. ThermoWorks sent this to me over a year ago, I think almost 2 years ago, and it's just a fantastic thermometer, and I really like the company. I've bought several of their products. I just don't take free things from them. In fact, I've told them, no, I'll buy that. I've bought an infrared thermopen, I've bought a surface contact thermopen, I've bought probe spools, which are fantastic. I don't even know how much they cost. They're like 10 bucks, but they are the best thing ever because you can keep your probe wires all organized and nothing gets tangled up and they're magnetic. You can stick them places. I love those things. But this, the X4, is fantastic. Now, it's got a lot of features. You can plug 4 probes into it. You can set high and low temperatures, alarms, change the volume of your alarms. It is built super solid, it's water resistant, and the remote that comes with it is a tank. I've dropped that thing 5, 6, 7 times on concrete and it's still working fine. But one of the things I like the most about this thermometer is having 4 probes. Now in reality, I almost never use it for more than 1 food at a time, so I'm not running like 3 internal temperature probes and 1 ambient probe. Usually what I'm doing is setting different temperatures on here for different stages of a cook. So for the first stage of this cook, I have it set to 110 because at 110, I'm going to sear. Once I sear it, all I do is this. All I have to do is move it down to the next probe port and I'm now at that next target temperature. I don't have to reprogram anything. If I was running an ambient probe today, it would go in the bottom here, but the SnS Grills has a pretty good thermometer at near grate level, so I use that often. So really, this thing is an indispensable tool in my cooking arsenal, and I just love it. Now we're at 55 degrees internal, exactly halfway to that 110 temperature, so I'll bring you back when we're at 110 so we can sear this. All right, we're coming up on 110 internal. Time to sear this tri-tip. It's looking really good. Let me get my temperature probe out of here temporarily. Let's give this a sear. Give it a turn. Just want to get a little bit of extra color on the outside here. All right, that's looking good. Let's get our temperature probe back in here. See how close we can get. That's good, that's showing 113. Let's go ahead and get the lid on and let this finish to 130 internal. All right, we are coming up on 130 internal. Let's go ahead and check our tri-tip and get it off of here. Oh, that looks really good. All right, I'm gonna get this off here, cover it with foil, let it rest for 30 minutes, and then we're gonna cut into it. So as our tri-tip is resting here, I wanna get one of the components for the finished sandwich done, and that is a jalapeno slaw. Now, I'm starting with about 2 or 3 tablespoons of diced pickled jalapenos. I love these things. You could use regular jalapenos if you want, or leave it out completely. This recipe is just sort of a throw together slaw. There's gonna be some measurements, but they're not exact. To this, I'm gonna add a couple tablespoons of vinegar. Now, you could use apple cider vinegar, but I have this raspberry vinegar, which is really good, and I'm gonna be using that. So just a couple tablespoons. And a little bit of honey here. I'm just gonna spill on the bowl and on my cutting board. I don't know, that's maybe a tablespoon or so. And I just wanna mix this together. And if you feel you need more vinegar, go ahead. I don't like my slaw to be, really soupy. Now I'm just gonna add, I don't know, maybe a cup and a half of a coleslaw mix. This is just one of those pre-packaged coleslaw mixes, and I'm just gonna mix this in here. And I'm just gonna use my hands to make sure everybody gets coated. Because again, I don't want this to be soupy. I just want everybody to get a little bit of the flavor, because we are gonna have sauce on this tri-tip dip barbecue beef sandwich. And why am I calling it a tri-tip dip? Well, you'll see when we make it. All right, that looks good to me. Let's get our tri-tip out here and slice it up. Here is our tri-tip, looking just gorgeous. Now, tri-tips have a twisty grain, as I always mention in these videos, but when you look at this one, it has a pretty pronounced singular grain through most of it, which is pretty unusual. Usually it'll go something like this, then start twisting and then turning. So I'm actually gonna go at a little bit of an angle here so I can get a little bit more of across the grain cutting. Let's see how we did. Oh yeah, Juice-a-Lanch. Very happy with that. That's that pink center that I love. Now let's cut some slices because we need these for that tri-tip dip barbecue beef sandwich. I'm gonna try and get as thin as I can, even if some of them don't end up as full slices. That won't matter as much. And the further you get down in the tri-tip, the more it's gonna be cooked to this thinner section at the end. It's one of the reasons I like tri-tip is that there's usually a little bit of something for everyone, even if you cook it to sort of that medium rare or rare medium rare. Some people like it a little more medium. You're gonna find medium slices. Let me take a little bit off the end here and just have a quick taste. That Mad Cow rub from Postal Barbecue is awesome on beef. Oh, that is so good. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get my cutting board cleaned up and we're gonna move on to making these tri-tip dip barbecue beef sandwiches. So if you've ever had a French dip sandwich, usually, not all the time, but usually what you find is thinly sliced roast beef dipped in an au jus, put on a bun. Sometimes you'll dump some more au jus on it, but we're gonna do it a little different here because we're not using roast beef, we're using tri-tip. And we're also making a barbecue beef sandwich. So we're going to dip our slices of tri-tip in barbecue sauce. And the barbecue sauce I'm using today is a smoky barbecue cooking and dipping sauce. First thing I want to do is I'm going to get some of this in a bowl. And we're just going to get our slices of tri-tip in here and make sure they all get covered. I'll put enough in here for one sandwich to start. Maybe a generous sandwich, right? Yeah, pretty generous. I just want to make sure everybody's coated here. I know the horror that some people are experiencing. He's putting sauce on beef. Man, I get so many comments from people when I put sauce on any kind of beef that you're destroying the flavor, you're doing this. You know what? If you don't like sauce on beef, don't put sauce on beef. But for barbecue beef, you kind of have sauce on it. At least that's the barbecue beef sandwiches I've had. Those all look well coated. Let's start building our tri-tip dip barbecue beef sandwich. So I have a toasted potato bun here, and we're just going to start layering everything on, building this sandwich. Love a good barbecue beef sandwich. Want to get a good amount of our jalapeno coleslaw on here. If it falls off, no problem. We're making a tall sandwich. Then we're going to go ahead and top this. There we have it, the tri-tip dip barbecue beef sandwich. This is looking terrific. It's time to taste. So look, I went and got all civilized and put it on a plate here. Now, should I cut it in half or should I just attack it? I think I'm just going to attack it. It's going to be messy, but so what? Here we go. Embrace the sauce face. Is there anything here? That is a satisfying bite. Oh, the tri-tip is tender, it is juicy, and that mad cow rub, I don't know, that's up there in my favorite commercial rubs. That thing is just awesome. Nice smoke flavor from that post oak, plus nice smoky flavor from the barbecue sauce. And really the sauce is something you can decide yourself what you want, what kind. And as I'm getting ready to take another bite here, I don't even know if there's still sauce on my face. And I don't care. So that's it, the tri-tip dip barbecue beef sandwich. Some really good smoked tri-tip that you can do on any cooker that you want, or in the oven even if you don't have a smoker. Just get it to the doneness level you like, slice it up, get some good sauce on it. Maybe make that slaw like I did, build yourself a sandwich, and it's gonna be good eating.